طيب, so girls, our lesson, that's again, this is the answer key of all your homework. طبعا I attached the answer key of the questions only that you did and all the other questions, so you can do them as you want. يعني في some students already did some extra parts, so you can make sure of your answers. Now, our lesson today is 14.2, sharing in a ratio. It's a very easy lesson, and it's actually just an interesting one. In sharing ratio, the main outcomes that we should know is to understand how to share ratios and applying sharing ratios into real life. So, pay attention to this example very well, because it's the whole idea of sharing ratio. Now, the example is about friends, two
Yes.
friends, Bill and Betty. They both buy a $1 lottery ticket. Now, Bill pays 60 cents and Betty the other 40 cents. So, they didn't, both friends, they wanted to buy this lottery ticket. It costs $1. Bill, he has 60 cents, he paid it, and Betty paid the other 40 cents. They won the lottery. They both win the $1,000. Should they get both 500? Are we gonna give $500 to Bill and $500 to Betty? Now
No.
look,
No, it's not
they
fair.
might be really good friends and decide to go halves, 50-50. We both shared it, but it's not going to be fair. Fair way to split the winning in the same ratio as they paid. Again, we should be fair in sharing this. So, how much would they get? Look, the lottery ticket was paid for by splitting the cost to 60 cents and 40 cents. This is how they paid it. As a ratio, we can write this as Bill paid 60, Betty paid 40. So it's 60 to 40. Now, that means Bill will get 60 parts from the $1,000 and Betty will get 40 parts from the $1,000. Okay, so the ratio 60 to 40, where did we get it from? From their payments. Bill paid 60 cents, Betty paid 40 cents. So this is where we get the ratio from. So since Bill paid 60, he's gonna get 60 parts of the 100. And Betty paid 40, so she will get 40 parts of the 1,000. So between them, there are 100 parts. How did we know that there are 100 parts in total? From 60 and 40 together. Bill has 60 parts. Betty has 40 parts. So 60 and 40 together is 100 parts. So the $1,000 divided by all the number of parts, which is 100, it's going to be 10. Now, what does that 10 means? It means for each part in the ratio, you will get 10. For each part, there is 10. Now, Bill paid 60, so he has 60 parts. If for each part there are 10, so 60 times 10, look, Bill gets 60 times 10, which is $600. And Betty, he paid 40 cents, so 40 times 10, $400. This is how we are going to be fair. So Bill will get $600, Betty got $400. Let's have another example. If you didn't get this one, pay attention to this example. Simon and Jenny share the bar of chocolate in the ratio 5 to 3. How many pieces do they each receive? So see, there's a bar of chocolate. Simon and Jenny will share it in the given ratio 5 to 3. هلا, where did that ratio comes from? Sometimes it's related to their ages, sometimes it's related to how much they pay for the bar of chocolate. So it doesn't matter where is it come from if you already have it in the question. So here we have it, 5 to 3, and the bar of chocolate, this is it. Now, if you look at the bar of chocolate, how many small pieces are there? If you count them all, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3, 24 small pieces. So the total parts are 24. So look, the ratio 5 to 3 means that for every 5 pieces that Simon gets, Jenny will get 3. So we're gonna cut the chocolate until we run out of chocolate. Look, 5 pieces to Simon, 3 to Jenny. 5 to Simon, 3 to Jenny. 5 to Simon, 3 to Jenny. We're done with the chocolate. So Simon got 15 parts of chocolate and Jenny got 9 pieces or parts of the chocolate. But it doesn't make sense that every time we need to share ratio to separate or cut things. We're not talking about a chocolate all the time, or we're not just have 24 pieces. 24 is a small number. You can cut it. But what if you have like $2,000? It doesn't make sense to give $5, $3, $5, $3, $5, $3 until you run out of the $2,000. So there are some steps that you should follow. The steps will be clear from the next example. Look at this example. We have four animals here: Snoopy, Ollie, Hippo, and Jumbo. They want to share 80 colored counters shown in the ratio 4 to 7 to 3 to 6. Now, the first name, as you see, is Snoopy. He gets the first part of the ratio. دايما the ordering of the names is so related to the order of the ratio. Snoopy, 4. Ollie, 7. Hippo, 3. Jumbo, 6. Okay, هلا, where is the ratio comes from? Whatever, it's just from the question. How many counters does each one receive? First, we need to find the total of the parts. Parts means parts of the ratio. The total from the parts of the ratio is 20. 4 plus 7 plus 3 plus 6 is 20. So we have 20 parts. This is gonna be all the time your first step to do sharing ratios. Find the total parts of the ratio. Then, what are we sharing here? 80 counters. By how many parts? 20 parts. So 80 divided by 20 is 4. What does that 4 mean? It means 4 for each part. So we have 4 for each part. Let's start with Snoopy. Snoopy, how many parts does he have? Since his name is the first one, its name is the first one, so it's 4. 4 times 4, 16 counters. Now look at Ollie. Ollie is the second name. He has 7 parts. And when we divided 80 by 20, we got 4. So 7 times 4, 28 counters. Now if you go to Hippo, Hippo is the third name. He has 3 parts. So 3 times 4 for each part, he will get 12 counters. Jumbo, the last one, he has 6 parts. For each part, 4. So 6 times 4, 24 counters. So from this example, we can summarize the steps of sharing ratios. First thing, you find the total number of parts. Step 2, divide. What are we talking about? Chocolate, money, counters, whatever we share. So here we're sharing 80 colored counters divided by the total that you get. So the answer that you have, multiply it by each part of the ratio. These are, طبعا how can you make sure if you did it right? Just add all the answers, 16 counters and 28 counters, 12 counters, 24 counters. You should get 80 counters in the end. طبعا those are the steps. You should write them in your notebook, but not now, after the live session. Step 1, you add all the units from the ratio. Step 2, divide the given quantity in the question, as I told you, money, chocolate, counter, whatever, by the total parts that you got. Step 3, the last one, multiply each part of the ratio by the quotient of step 2. Okay? I'm not gonna have your question now, Sarah. Let's just do some more questions. بعدين رح أشوف if you have any questions. We're gonna start doing now the course book question, page 143. After this question, I'll check if you have questions about the steps. هلا, share these amounts between Andy, Beth, and Charlie in the given ratio. I'm just gonna do part B. هلا, part B, we need to share $225. The ratio is 2 to 3 to 4. So as you see, we have the quantity and we have the ratio. According to the steps, you should first find the total of the ratios. 2 plus 3 plus 4, 9. Step 2 says divide the quantity of the question, which is 225, by the total that you got. So $225 divided by 9, we got $25. So $25 for each part. So we're done now. هلا, we need to find for each person. The first person mentioned is Andy. So he gets the first part of the ratio, 2. So Andy, he has 2 times 25, the 25 of each part. So he will get $50. Beth, the second person, he got 3. So 3 times 25, he will get $75. The last one, Charlie, he has 4 parts in the ratio. So Charlie will have 4 times 25, which is 100. To make sure that you get the right answers, write the money for each person, 50 and 75 and 200. It should be $225, and it's already $225. Okay? So again, you add the total of the ratios, then divide the quantity that you have by the total, then multiply by each part of the ratio. Question 2 again. There are, again, 3 persons, Dave, Ella, and Franz. They shared their electricity bills in the ratio 3 to 4 to 5. How much does each of them pay when their electricity bill is, we're just gonna do C, $234. So the bill is $234. The ratio is 3 to 4 to 5. Step number 1, add the ratios. Girls, you have to memorize the steps. Add the ratios. 3 plus 4 plus 5, 12. Then divide the quantity, $234 by 12. It's going to be $19.50. Now, let's start with each person. Dave, the first one. So he get the first part, 3 times 19.5, it's $58.5. This is how much Dave is going to pay. Now Ella, the second person, has the second part of the ratio, which is 4. 4 times 19.5, which is $78. Now Franz, the last person, has the last part of the ratio, which is 5. 5 times 19.5 is $97.5. This is how much each person will get. Again, to make sure, just add your ratios. It should be the same total quantity. Okay, Yara, do you have any question? Wait, Yara.
I have one question.
Yes.
Hala, if like the number, like here we have 234, and
Yeah.
then we added the ratios, we got 12. But what if we have like different numbers and it's not divisible by it? Like it's not gonna work with it.
It's impossible to be not gonna work. ما في إشي اسمه not divisible because we have decimals here. It's okay if we have decimals.
So it's always gonna work?
It's all the time gonna work, yes.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. طيب, let's do one more question, but then we'll see more questions from you if you have. Hello, question 3. It says, a choir is made up of men, women, and children in the ratio 5 to 7 to 3. So men 5, women 7, children 3. Altogether, there are 285 members of the choir. How many members of the choir are men? How many women? How many children? So, first thing, you add the parts of the ratio. 5 plus 7 plus 3, 15. Divide the 285 members by 15, we get 19. So that 19, multiply it now by each part. The men 5, so 5 times 19, 95 men. The woman, the second part, which is 7. 7 times 19, 133 women. Now the children, 3. So 3 times 19, it's going to be 57 children. So this is how many men, women, and children we have. We're done with part A. Now part B says, how many more women than men are there? How many more women than men? The men are 95. The women are 133. So to find how many more are the women than the men, just subtract them. To know the women are more than the men by how much? So there are 38 women more than men. Part C says, how many more men than children are there? The men are 95. The children are 57. How many men more than children? You just subtract the number of men, which is 95, minus the number of children, which is 57. It's going to be also 38 men more. Any question about this? Okay, let me go to question 5. Question 5 is talking about Adam, Ellie, Lily, and Ziva. They run their own business. They share the money they earn from a project in the ratio of the number of hours they put into the project. Yani the person who worked more will earn more money. The one who worked less hours will get less money. So this is the sheet. On the right is the time sheet for one of their projects. How much does each of them earn from this project? In this project, they earn $450. The time spent working on the project is Adam works 6 hours, Ellie 4 hours, Lily 3 hours, Ziva 5 hours. So this is their ratio. Adam, Ellie, Lily, Ziva, 6, 4, 3, 5. Can I mix up the names in different way? Of course you can, but you have to make sure. For example, if you put Lily first, you should take her number first. Lily 3, so 3 is gonna be first. So it doesn't matter how you order the names of the ratio, but you should write the numbers according to the names that you put. So step 1, you add the ratios. 6 and 4 and 3 and 5 is 18. What do we need to share between them? The earning, which is $450. So $450 divided by 18. Oh no, there's a missing step here. Wait. So we should divide here 450. We should multiply it by 18. Divide it by 18. Divide by 18. It's gonna be, I'm gonna use the calculator first. It's 25. 25. So add in 6 times 25 and Lily 4 times 25. Ellie and Lily 3 times 25 and Siva 5 times 25. So Eden will get 25 times 6 is $150. Ellie 4 times 25, which is $100. Lily 3 times 25, which is $75. And Siva 5 times 25 is $125. Okay? So again, we added the ratios. When you add the ratios, you should divide the $450 by the total number of the parts, which is 18. Now, for each person, you multiply. For Adam, 6 times 25, and for Ellie, 4 times 25, Lily, 3 times 25, and Ziva, 5 times 25. This is how much each of them will get. Haneen, do you have any question? You raised your hand. Haneen?
Teacher?
Yes.
Tala can't see anything. It's like frozen for her.
بس هيها it's working. I don't know. بيكون عندها مشكلة يمكن بالإنترنت.
Maybe. I'll go ask her.
Anyway, I'll think, make sure that she can hear me. If she can hear me, خلاص, it's fine. The presentation already sent, so she can see it. طيب, let's do the last question fast because we have only 5 minutes for the class. طبعا I'm gonna do question 7. Sorry, after question 7, I will hear your question. Question 7 says, every year on his birthday, David shares $300 among his children in the ratio of their ages. This year, the children are aged 4 years, 9 years, 11 years. So the money that he is going to share, they share it among their ratios. Yani the youngest one will get the less number of money. The oldest one will get more money. How much less will the oldest child receive in 2 years time? Okay, how much less? Yani we need to know how much money will the oldest one who's 11 years old will get this year, and in 2 years time how much money will that oldest one will get. Now let's talk about this year first. Okay, the ratio of the ages are 4 to 9 to 11. Find the total of the ratios. 4 plus 9 plus 11, which is 24. Divide now 300 by 24. It's $12.5. هلا the question, if you look at the question, it says it's talking about the oldest child only. So we just need the oldest child. I don't care about the youngest one who's 5 years old, 4 years old. I don't care about the one who's 9 years old. I just care about the one who's 11 years old. So we do. Look, we just need the oldest one, 11 years old. 11 times 12.5 is $137.5. This is how much is the oldest child will get this year. هلا we need to know in 2 years time how much will he get. هلا in 2 years means after 2 years. So look, in 2 years means after 2 years. Yani he was 11 years old. After 2 years, he will be 13 years old. So we're going to have first new ratios. Look, all the kids now having new ages. The one who's 4 years, now 6 years. بعد 2 years, after 2 years. 4 years plus 2, 6 years. The one who's 9 years is now 11 years. The one who's 11 plus 2, 13 years. So we have a new ratio after 2 years. But he's still sharing the same amount of money, 300. So 300, first find their total, of course, 30. 300 divided by 30 is 10. Now the oldest one, who is 13 years old, multiply it by 10, it's going to be $130. So again, the oldest kid or children this year will get $137.5. After 2 years, he will be 2 years older. He will get $130. It says in the question, how much less will the oldest child receive in 2 years? How much less? Yani this year, after 2 years, he will get less money because he's older. So $137 minus $130, he's gonna get $7.5 less in 2 years. Type, who wants to ask questions? Who's that? Lean?
Teacher, if they asked about all the children, so we have to see the ratio for all the children, or
Of
the all
course. Of course, if they ask about all the children, you need to work the calculation of 4 years and after 2 years, 6, and the 9 and after 2 years, and so on. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, yes. But on they make it easier for you. They just ask about one person, so no need to do all the persons or all the children. Sarah Razem.
بس ما فهمت آخر خطوة.
Which one?
No, the last thing.
The oldest one will get?
Yeah.
هلا هم already سألوا بالquestion how much less will the oldest receive in 2 years. يعني بعد سنتين, as you see, in 2 years, the oldest one رح ياخد $130. بس in this year رح ياخد 137 and a half. يعني بعد سنتين اللي أخدهم أقل من هاي السنة بقد إيه؟ قد إيه الفرق؟ يعني أنت هاي السنة رح تاخدي $137 and a half. After 2 years, your father is going to give you $130 only. So after 2 years, those $130 less than the much money that you get this year by how much? قد إيه الفرق بينهم, the difference. So you should subtract them, okay?
طب مش لما يكبر باخد أكتر؟
لا, هنا different. لأنه look, هلا إذا David the father عم بيزيد الموني كل سنة مع عمرهم, مفروض يصير أكتر، بس هم ال $300 هم كل سنة عم بعطيهم $300 according to their ages. هلا هم عمرهم بكبر بس الماني زي ما هو.
اوكي.
اوكي مشان هيك رح يصير المصاري أقل
اوكي.
اللي حياخدوها كل سنة، لأنه already كبر فصار البارتس number of years أكتر. ف when we divide same money رح يصير أقل كل سنة، ما رح يكتر.
اوكي. ثانك يو.
welcome. طيب who else؟ لما. Yes, Lama.
Teacher, I just want to ask you about if you received my homework for 14.1.
No, I didn't. Send it again, okay?
Okay.
Type about the lesson. Who have any question about the lesson? Okay, there is Sarah Razam La'a. Sarah, do you have any other question? Any other question? Yara, do you have any other question?
بس هلأ مو عن الدرس، عن الhomework. Do we have to send it today?
لا هلا I told you. That's your homework, girls. Your homework is pages 71 and 72. These questions, from question 1, just do part A. Questions 3, 5, 7, 8. Your homework is gonna be due Saturday. Okay?
Okay.
But not after 2:30 p.m. Okay? Because at 3, we're gonna send you the answer key. So that was our lesson. You just need to remember the steps and be careful what is the question or who is the question asking about. Sometimes they don't ask about each part of the ratio, they just ask about one person. Remember the steps. You find the total of ratios and divide the quantity and then find for each one by multiplying. That was our lesson. So thank you for listening, girls. Go get ready for your next class. Jude, before I leave, do you have anything, Jude?